The blood is running in the streets to a certain degree here in crypto land. And on days like today, it's really important to take some perspective in the market. Because when things are extremely bullish, it's very tempting to just throw money out there and hope that you keep riding these astronomical gains. But if you look back, the times when the market corrects are oftentimes, if not every time, the best time to snipe your entries into the best projects. Now, what are the best projects? We're going to be talking about the way I see the market here at the beginning of April in 2021, as well as why I'm still so bullish here in crypto land. So if you guys are excited for this one and you need a little word of reassurance about where crypto is headed, then go ahead, destroy that like button. Remember that each and every comment on this video is entered to win your very own Ledger Nano S. And of course, if you see an LEO Trades in the comments asking you to contact them on WhatsApp, that is not me. That is a scammer pretending to be me. So with that said, let's dive in. First and foremost, a quick reminder of what we're fighting for here in crypto land. And that is just a chance at keeping the money creation that we have earned. You know, most people exchange their time for dollars. And in exchange for that time, the dollars they get typically lose value. I think it's really important that people realize that exchanging dollars for Bitcoin doesn't diminish the value of dollars themselves. In fact, I believe that dollars or fiat currencies in general will essentially be always needed as payments rails that work on top of Bitcoin layer for firm assets. Just like the gold standard and the dollar had some synergy before, I believe that sovereign national currencies like the dollar will essentially be necessary vehicles and instruments to work with these hard assets that are cryptocurrency, and specifically Bitcoin. But with that said, as we price Bitcoin in dollars, understanding that the world is getting ready to inject more and more and more new dollars into the ecosystem in expectations of providing some relief for not only the crisis that we're in with the economy, but overarching issues with the economy that have been growing and growing for the last few decades. So it's important that you realize that headlines like this, to me, are just the beginning. This is not the end, as what we see is political will to shove more and more stimulus, more and more relief into these bills. This is after we just got off the back of a $1.9 trillion stimulus. We're talking astronomical numbers. And if there's any parabolic chart on Earth worth constantly paying attention to, it's this one, which essentially shows the growth of money supply over the last 40 plus years. We have here since 1975 a growth of the money supply that was relatively constant, and it grew at a fairly linear rate. And then since about 2010, the financial crisis, 2008, we got a very significant uptick in the amount of money supply entering into the ecosystem. And then we get a full-blown explosion parabola where we just essentially printed as much money as we ever have, many more times than all of this money printing combined, we printed right here. And we see that the slope is steeper still than any other time in growing from this amount of money right now today. This is an indicator that as this goes up, you know, in theory, the weakness of the dollar or the value of the dollar should go down, which would mean that Bitcoin should be worth more in US dollar terms. And as that happens, more and more dollars should flock to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. More and more dollars will look for higher rates of yield and lending return in the form of APY. And that's going to drive people into DeFi. And for those reasons, it feels like fundamentally that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are setting themselves up for a tremendously strong next few years. These are as strong of fundamentals as it gets, and this builds the demand for Bitcoin, which, to be honest, although it's here at about $56,000, it did have a couple of red days in a row. I mean, on the whole here, this still looks really good. I tend not to rely too much on TA in extremely parabolic moments because you can only do so much TA on this extreme and hard to predict violent growth that is the Bitcoin network. Regardless, the fundamentals keep pouring in, the amount of people who want to use and rely on Bitcoin keeps growing, and as that happens, the opportunity for the altcoin space remains extremely fertile and extremely opportunistic. Now, originally, today's video was going to be on what I'm betting on, which is the explosion of DeFi. And I still am betting on that because I believe the next wave of this bull run is going to bring with it a tremendous amount of bullishness for DeFi projects. And as a tip of the spear type indicator, we are looking at the Chainlink chart, which typically precedes any massive or extraordinary pumps going on in DeFi land. And as we can see, Chainlink peaked out here in about mid-February at about the mid $30 range. 36 or 37 bucks. And as you can see, we've been working our way back up there, getting as close as we've been just yesterday before getting knocked down today. But I believe that this is going to be a chart that eventually reaches and tops this prior high of 37 bucks. And when it does that and it explodes upwards, I believe we're going to see a huge rebirth of DeFi. So in the blood, in the rubble, as people are getting scared and the weak hands are releasing their coins, I believe that DeFi projects are something that you definitely want to be paying attention to for some extraordinary gains in the next leg of this bull run. And of course, in moments like this, projects that have been extremely exciting for the last few months, specifically in the NFT sector, have started to get hit pretty hard. And that, of course, is a lot of the tourists leaving the NFT sector looking for the next quick opportunity. And this is, of course, where good opportunities typically start to emerge, is when the FOMO passes, the blood emerges, and the people who understand the future of the space and where the projects are that are making disruption, they can get better opportunity. So things are getting pretty bloody in NFT land, and this is to be expected with a hard rinse on the market after so much hype and excitement within the last few months. And even Launchpad projects are having a difficult time. I noticed that they added paid network up here on the CoinGecko chart for Launchpads after my video yesterday. Shout out to you, CoinGecko. I guess you're watching the channel. Regardless, these are also fertile areas for gains that we've seen get extremely exciting over the last few months. And as you can see, even these projects, which have a ton of reasons to hold, are getting hit pretty hard. So whatever the project is that you believe has those strong fundamentals, if you believe that these projects have a through line and a future, these hard rinses and red days in the market present opportunities, especially with Bitcoin really not showing any signs of true capitulation, just having a little bit of malaise. This to me is a huge sign that the market is in a little bit of consolidation mode, and those consolidation modes typically lead to some incredible opportunities. We can look back at September and October of last year to see some of the absolute best opportunities to get into projects really probably in crypto's history. And this was after a bloody red correction of DeFi summer. And I told everyone then, as I'm telling people now, which is these moments of boringness, of negativity, of malaise, of hard rinses, they offer the opportunity for you to get in and rewind time on things like SushiSwap, which we were talking about at $1 after the collapse, saying, hey, look at all these fundamentals. But at the time, people were calling it a scam coin and a meme coin. It's important to understand that as you analyze fundamentals and you understand the market better, you want to counter trade the emotion of the market. When people are emotionally selling or there's a ton of red and it seems to be a macro movement of the market, but at the same time, there's no huge instability in Bitcoin, there's no huge instability in Ethereum, these are the types of things that offer huge opportunities to you. So I sincerely hope that this video helps you out in understanding the market and plotting your entries and potential movements throughout the next few days and weeks. Again, if I'm ever really worried about the market, I will tell you, and it's certainly not the case today. And of course, areas that I'll be looking for better opportunities in are DeFi, NFTs, and launchpads. With that said, my name's Elio Trades. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. If you want more content like this, make sure you subscribe and put that bell notification on so you're made aware whenever we put out new videos. That bell notification will help you get around any potential gatekeeping by YouTube, which has been known to not show content to subscribers, so that bell notification is absolutely critical. As always, you can reach me on Telegram or Twitter. The links for both of those are in the description. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode. Also, before I go, I wanted to mention I'll be on Crypto Banter with my good friend Crypto Man Ran tomorrow. So if you guys want to come out and support tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time, 7:15 a.m. Pacific Time. That's right, I'll be up bright and early to give you guys the best of crypto banter. So I hope to see you guys there at Crypto Man Ran's show, and I'll drop a link on my Twitter so you guys know where to show up.